Well, Zimbabwe joined the rest of the world in celebrating 2022 World Wetlands Day to raise global awareness about the essential role of wetlands for humanity and the planet. It is reported that since the 1700s, almost 90% of the world's wetlands have been degraded.
Harare Wetlands Trust, an organization that advocates for preservation of wetlands, released a report on the current status of Harare's headwater wetlands. The report states that the capital city is facing a prolonged water crisis whereby the city authorities are unable to provide most residents with a safe and reliable water supply.
Well, this has forced many residents to use groundwater, which is in turn leading to declining groundwater levels across the city. The widespread destruction of headwater wetlands is one of the primary causes of this disaster, with an estimated 50% reduction in the remaining wetland extent over the period 2008 to 2019. Joining us to tell us more about the state of wetlands and how they contribute to the broader climate change picture is Harare Wetlands Trust Programs Manager Selestino Chari. Welcome to Breakfast Central. Selestino, why is it important to actually preserve wetlands?
Thank you very much. My name is Selestino Chari, as you have already alluded.
All right, we seem to have a connectivity issue there with Celestino's network. Let's hope that we can get that right. But Oluchi, the story right there is that it's a big challenge right there.
It is.
In Zimbabwe.
I mean, the acting president, Constantino Chiwenga, in his address on World Wetlands Day, mentioned that land barons were the biggest perpetrators of wetland degradation. Now, it makes people come out to wonder what really some organizations are doing to ensure that this can be stopped due to the rampant damage it's causing to the wetlands in Harare, Zimbabwe.
Very key to preserve the wetlands, and hopefully we get Celestino join us back as we look to discuss this particular story. It's indeed a threat, especially for Zimbabwe wetlands, and that is one topic that we'd like to look at on a Friday.
It is. Well, let's now take you back to the story now, the same story in Zimbabwe, and it seems our guest is back online. Celestino, we're asking you a question in terms of preservation of wetland. Why is it so important?
It's very important because wetlands have got very important functions that they do. The storage aspect, then also the regulating of floods, and also mitigation of climate change. And in terms of purification, looking at our Zimbabwean situation, we are currently facing serious costs in terms of purifying our water. We used to use 2 chemicals, but now we are using almost 7 chemicals, which is taking a lot of budget from local authorities in terms of purification of water. So we really need this natural infrastructure to purify our water. And currently we are having serious shortages of water in Zimbabwe. So we need the wetlands as much as we can to purify our water.
All right, Celestino, acting president Constantino Chiwenga, in his address on World Wetlands Day, mentioned that land barons were the biggest perpetrators of wetlands degradation. What does your organization think should be done to stop this rampant damage?
Yeah, so local authorities should be very serious in terms of trying to protect their wetlands. I feel that local authorities should come up with clear policies in managing their wetlands. They should also come up with clear maps in terms of their local environmental action plans. And also local authorities should, by all means, try to capacitate their environmental committees so that the environmental committees can recommend proper strategies that we currently need to protect our wetlands. Of course, you mentioned the issue of the vice president talking about, the need to protect wetlands. We are actually happy that the government has done very well in terms of trying to bring up policies to protect wetlands. We now have a policy on wetlands. We now have guidelines, on wetlands. We also have the master plan of the mapping of all wetlands in Zimbabwe. And we are in the process of coming up with the ecological sensitive map to protect the wetlands. So the government has done very well. What is needed now is for the government to roll out the program so that communities and citizens can participate in the process.
All right, let's look at one last question quickly before we let you go. How is the government able to manage the chemicals and not forgetting to the habitats, the ecosystem. How are they able to manage that in benefits to the environment and the society as well?
Definitely, that has got a negative impact in terms of service delivery, because that other money that should be used for other things like waste management, pollution, is being taken into treatment of water. Yet we have got natural infrastructures that we can use. So definitely, there's need for local authorities to relook at that and try to start to invest in protection, in the protection of wetlands. And they should roll out the programs of restoration of the wetlands as a matter of urgency.
Quite interesting and very insightful. Thank you so much for being here, Selestino Chari, who happens to be in charge of the Wetlands, Harare Wetlands Trust Programs Manager. We appreciate you for being here.
My pleasure.